home, leaving Guyana, come home now to some local
Well,
issues here now.
I'm afraid of you, though. You know, I've always told you that. I'm afraid of you.
Well, you have no reason to. You have
No,
no
because,
reason to.
no, because you will lead me astray.
That's not possible. That's not possible. Give me your reading of the Johnson poll results.
Well, why we don't discuss the current drought situation that is threatening Jamaica?
Well, we will, but as far as I know, you're not a meteorologist or a weather forecaster. Yeah.
Well, I'm no expert. I have no expertise in what you were evidently all of it does.
Tell me now. Tell me. Give me your assessment of the Johnson polls this close to a general election.
Well, I find it astonishing. I mean, if you were to extrapolate from those numbers, and if those numbers hold true to election day, you'll be looking at a Jamaica Labour Party victory that is unprecedented in terms of the numbers, in terms of the majority. No party has ever won an election by more than 60%, and that was the JLP in 1980, just 59.6%, I think. And that was, as you recall, a massive landslide.
Yes.
I think we were winning seats that normally we would never even think possible. And that was 60%. What Johnson is saying is, 66 and 2/3% to 33 and a third. Now, I don't know that those numbers will hold. What is quite clear, however, is that the JLP enjoys a substantial lead. So substantial that something really earth-shaking would have to happen in the couple of months left before an election is held that would enable that kind of majority to dissipate. It's highly unlikely.
Mm-hmm. But do you think the effect of the series of scandals, issues, for example, last week was a wretched week, that those could somehow dampen the numbers and the enthusiasm for the administration?
That is possible. Although if you go back to Johnson says that his findings suggest that people don't attach a great deal of weight to that. I'm sure that some people will be concerned, and that may affect them, particularly if they were, leaning toward but not fully committed to voting for the Labour Party. But beyond just the polls and winning of elections, though, is that, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm through, say goodbye and let me go. Andrew Holness enjoys a level of support and goodwill that no leader before him has enjoyed. No leader.
Including Michael Manley?
Including Michael Manley, including Buster Manley, including Norman Manley. No leader has ever enjoyed this level of goodwill. Now, whether that is partly due to the fact that the PNP has its own internal problems, and even among their own ranks there is, disquiet. That may have contributed somewhat to it, but don't take it away from Andrew Holness. He has built a level of support that is enormous. And I would say this, it's a level of support that he must not take for granted. It has given him a level of political capital that he cannot afford to squander. I have a great deal of regard for him. I believe his heart is in the right place, and I only hope that his mind is holding hands with his heart. Okay, Cliff, nice talking to you.
One more, man. One more. You can't just drop that and leave Mr. Golding.
Why not?
Oh, man. What about those around him? Do they appreciate that build-up of capital, and they must not take it for granted? You were Prime Minister once when you have to make tough decisions when people fall out of line. Yeah? Do you think those around him appreciate that and are prepared to not squander that goodwill?
I don't know. I'm sure that not all of them do, but then they are not leaders. He's the leader. And he has enough strength. One of the things, you see, and I've been there, so I know it. One of the things when you're a political leader, you have to be concerned about your base, no? And you have to make sure that you hold that base with you.
Mm-hmm.
But that base is never going to be enough. So one of the qualities, measurements of effective leadership is the extent to which you, and it's normally you, not so much the party, but you, can draw to the polling station people who are not liberal, but persons who will come here and vote because in you the kind of leadership that they want, that they respect, that they want to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Where the leader has that kind of support outside of Belmont Road, that leader is enormously powerful inside Belmont Road. He's not beholden to anybody. Nobody can give him no chat because people inside Belmont Road know that Belmont Road alone can win the election. You have to be able to pull those people who would never drive into Belmont Road, but who like what the leader of Belmont Road is doing. And therefore, they're sensitive to that. And that's why his position in the party now is so strong, stronger than I was ever able to achieve and enjoy. And because of that, he doesn't have to look over his shoulder anymore. He had to do that after the 2016 election. He had a majority of one.
Mm-hmm.
But at this stage, every Labourite know that, look, this man is gold. And don't mess around because he is the person. Andrew is going to pull people into Gordon House that ordinarily would not be able to get there. He's going to be able to pull some candidates across the finish line that left on their own, even with party support, they would not have been able to make it. Now, when a leader has that kind of power, influence, and strength, that leader has enormous authority. And I'm sure that he's aware of it. He has his own mind. I mean, there's different decisions that he has. Nobody, though he touches base with me now and again and will bounce things off me, there are some decisions that he alone can make. And there are some things that he's not even going to consult somebody about.
Yeah.
He has to weigh them, he has to analyze them, and ultimately it has to be his decision. But the good thing about decision is that he's now so strong that he doesn't have to worry, he doesn't have to celebrate about consequences. He can take decisions. Once those decisions are the decisions he knows is right, and the kind of decisions that the people of goodwill expect of him, he can take those decisions without fear or without any concern about what the consequences might be.
Should he go for the elections? Should he go for the elections this side of the year or next year?
Sorry, you're breaking up. What?
Should he go for the elections this side of the year or next year?
I don't know. There are too many factors at play, you know. One of which, of course, is the COVID, and you're managing that to what extent. And I've worried about that, over the last 2 days. You run a risk when you try to open up because we are surrounded by so much sort of infection.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to balance opening up, but you have to at the same time try to maintain the kind of protocols that will ensure that you don't become a mini America under Trump's mismanagement,
Yes.
But beside this year or next year, that's one factor. The other factor too is there is that we have been told to expect a more than average hurricane season. So one of the choices that you have to make is that we've been lucky so far, not much activity in this region. But the height of the hurricane season is normally September down to October. You have to weigh that as well. Do you try and deal with it before you get into the belly of the hurricane season and run the risk, or do you run the risk of having to hold an election while you're trying to repair major hurricane damage? These are all sorts of issues that I'm sure are operating in his mind, but ultimately he's the one who has to decide. No?
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the time.
All right, Cliff.
Good, good. Really appreciate your time. Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Michael Holness, was born on this day, July 22, 1972. So today he is celebrating his 48th birthday. Am I counting it right, Damon? 1972 to 2000 is 28 and 20, 48. So the Prime Minister is celebrating his 48th birthday today. Yes? And I'm sure you'll join me in wishing him a very, very happy birthday while he still gets on with the job of Prime Minister. Yes? Without giving him the day off. He can take the night off. Yes? But I gather he loves this one from Downswell.
And in the community I mentioned a while ago, we're doing Haven 10 and Haven Dale.
Okay.
Have just been finished, and we're doing some roads in other sections that are repeated. So I was making the point that, you know, the road density in the constituency is very high because it was a constituency in which
Mr. Clark.
the residential development was...
Mr. Clark.
Yes.
I hear there is a gentleman with whom you're familiar. Your boss, the Prime Minister. He's celebrating a birthday today, and we called him. And I gather we have him on the line.
Only you can do that. Only you.
Oh my, Cliff Hughes, you are a master.
Mr. Prime Minister. Andrew, I am good. Andrew Michael Holness. Can I call you Michael this morning?
Please do. It might assist me in getting some pressure off my back.
Well, Andrew Michael, it's your birthday. Are you on the job?
Yes, every single day I wish the Jamaican people to know this, that I take their business very seriously, even on my birthday.
Good. So, what are the plans for later?
Please, you want me to divulge yours? Well, this morning, I can tell you, this morning I got a surprise from my wife and son.
Yeah.
They gave me a very lovely pair of cufflinks with my name initialed on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's lovely. That's nice.
With my initials engraved on it, which I think it is gold.
Oh.
A very fancy looking cufflink, which I'm wearing now, by the way.
Good. So you turned 48 today, yeah? Only 2 years away from the big 50. Are you beginning to feel those years?
Yes, I'm beginning to see them as well. In a few hairs turning in a different color, but you know, they say that's part of the distinguished look.
Oh, it demonstrates wisdom.
It does. So I've learned to embrace them.
Yes, yes. Well, Prime Minister, your fans on YouTube, WhatsApp, and Twitter are all asking me to wish you a happy birthday and all the best.
Thank you, Cliff, and thanks to everyone who has been sending me all the messages. I will respond later tonight as soon as I get a chance. And I want to say thanks to my family and friends who have supported me over the years, and to the Jamaican people to have kept faith with me and to have confidence and trust in what I'm doing.
Okay, get back to the people's business. Thank you, Prime Minister Holness.
And I noticed you had Minister Clark bragging about the carpeting of his constituency.
Well, it don't reach solo way yet, where Miss Beatrice called me this morning kicking up rumpus about her road.
In time. I'm sure in time.
Good. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you.
Dr. Clark? Dr. Clark, finally,